and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lakeway. Come good with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are El Gato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the El Gato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. El Gato Azul. My partner in slime, Mr. Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lake Weights.
What's up?
We are back.
Man, seems like it's been forever.
Looks like we lost Juan right out the gate. What he did. We found out what our technical difficulty was. Is Jamie Dunn's been putting his volume up too high. That's been our reverb past. All right, Juan's back. Tonight we got Eagle Eyes Juan Tienda, the record breaker. Welcome
I guess so.
Juan. We've had Juan on the show before. For those that don't know Juan, tell us a little bit about where you fish, what your background is.
Yeah, I'm living out now in Central Texas. I guess the background is from way out in West Texas or Levelland, and then I lived in Midland and travel fished everywhere. I'll tell you what, travel fishing is tough, but I tell you what, it'll test you and it'll make you a lot better when you got to go to different lakes and try to, produce something. Doing all these tournaments that I started doing, I think in 21, might have been 21, Big Country Catfish Trail, going with them guys and everything. They took me under their wing because I was in a 15.5-foot John boat. I had like a, I don't know, it's about 24-gallon live well I put in the center of it and flat bottom. And Old Lake Proctor was actually my first tournament in catfishing. I was like full circle. It was like 20-something degrees, and me and my cousin up there, we still had spinning reels everywhere. I think I had some chicken liver in the boat. Maybe some hot dogs. I mean, it was, we caught a lot of channel cats, but yeah, it was definitely full circle coming now and seeing how I used to fish then and to now. It's been a great journey, I guess. That American flag one, that was the turning point, I guess, in fishing. It was the end of 23, and it was Lake Whitney, and I think I had been there one time before, but it was like 2 years before that, and fished the tournament there. I think there was about 64 boats and ended up getting 5th place. But all my partners canceled on me before, so I had to fish it by myself, and it was really windy. And I think then is when I learned, man, I trusted my instincts and my gut feeling. You always have a lot of buddies saying, "Oh man, hey dude, they're shallow. You got to go shallow," or try to tell you different things of where to go. And man, I just followed my gut and drifted out there deep. And I hate that deep water like that, but it was like 50. There was a hole at 60 feet deep. Ended up catching some good fish in there and going up to weigh in. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start listening to my gut feeling and myself and stop having other people like influence me. But it's not their fault. It's all my fault, for not just sticking to the way I fish.
Well, I tell you, man, it looks like it's been paying off lately. I'm really excited, man. Every time I turn on Facebook, man, I see big fish pics, and I'm like, man, look at there. He's done catching some more records.
Yeah, man, it's been good lately, I guess since we moved over here. And Chris always had told me, hey man, you're doing it right, you're just not in the right waters. And I was like, man, I don't know, it kind of hurts your pride a little bit. You go out there and you catch a bunch of smaller fish, but moving to better quality water, and it's just been great. Of course, all them guys, Big Country, taught me a lot of things, taking me under their wing, getting me going, and then that's when I didn't even know what planer boards were. I seen them, and then I don't know how I ran across the slime show. Man, it was a while back, over 2 years ago, and I start watching it, and I'm like, huh, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask a lot of questions. But yeah, I asked a lot of questions, and now, the CLW team, man, that we all help each other out and stuff. And yeah, Chris, you answer any question I have and help me out. And man, planer boarding, it takes some time figuring it out. And man, but when you do, it can be great.
You started getting dialed in about 2 years ago, and this coming into this winter, I told you you're going to have your best year ever, regardless
Yeah,
of weather or any of that crap. Because it's been our worst year, and I can ever remember for what weather wise for us weekend guys. But
yeah,
you've had your best year yet. So
yeah. You're not wrong. And that's what you said too when I moved over here and started
those light
catching.
bulbs start going off, and you start figuring things out. You stop second guessing yourself, and you commit. And you stop zigging when you should have zagged. That makes a big difference too. You kind of start knowing what you're supposed to do,
Hmm.
where you're supposed to be. Your confidence. When you start having success, your confidence goes up, and that's a big part of trophy catfishing is confidence in what you're doing.
Oh, definitely. And how we always talk about how weather affects the fish and these fronts coming in and what the fish do during the fronts and finding those areas.
Yeah,
After a front comes in, you're like, all right, the next day or two after, you get that south wind change or the west southwest wind change. That's the prime time to attack it. And I'm like, I'm always looking at the weather that way. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's go time.
yeah. Except this year, it's north wind or no wind or
Yeah.
been high pressure pretty much every weekend.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember it being like this, but it's been high pressure every weekend since October. The last time I fished a south wind was when we fished live on the slime show with Tommy Anderson. That was the last south.
Mm.
And even that night, we had 4 wind changes.
Yep.
We started out with south wind, and after that, it was 4 wind changes, and the party was over. But you got to learn to
Oh,
adapt. I guarantee you, if you're doing well this year, on a good year, you're going to freaking destroy them, dude. So
heck yeah.
let's run
And then
through
one,
here. Let's run through here real quick. See who
yeah.
all's with us. So we got Matthew says, "Good evening, Slime family. Hope everyone is doing good. I'm excited for this episode. Juan has been hammering them. Juan's been on them. The
Appreciate
real
it.
fishing. He's been down in South Texas catching good fish. What's up, Slime family? Time to get slimed. Gonna be a good show. Killer B says, howdy, y'all. He's about to buy him some Mad Catz Nanos. You're going to love them, Bill. First time listener, Donnie Crouch here, just wanting to say what's up. Well, welcome in, Donnie. Hopefully, we're going to have a good time, and hopefully, some of you guys can pick up a few tips and tricks. We're going to go over with Juan how he's been catching these lake records. I think it's cool. He's implementing the program, and it's working for him. So, Richard Gadget Green says, hello, all from Texas. Congratulations to Indiana University football for winning the national championship. How on earth does Indiana win a national championship?
It's a changing thing, man. It's a
Yeah,
changing
dog.
thing.
Hey, now they can pay them.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true. Off the hook. Ted, what's up, brothers? He says. Tub and Tackle says it's showtime. Trophy, 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 trophy. John Whitley, what's up, guys? Welcome in, John. Dennis Perry says, what's up, slime goats? Welcome in, Dennis. Joseph Bustle says, good afternoon, guys. Good evening, my friend. Brad Sparks says, what's up, slime family? Brad's semi-pro team football game got canceled because of the dang weather. I was supposed to go up to fished the ice bowl, and they ice bowled it right out of the freaking forecast. No.
Yeah, they remember what happened last time.
Yeah.
Canceled. So I canceled. Bewley's Gone Fishing says, Carolina Lake Weights, this is a former monster catfish wrangler from TikTok. Left TikTok, sold bye to 20,000 followers. Come back here to Facebook. Welcome to Facebook world.
Welcome back, buddy.
Dennis Perry says, why y'all don't take these twisted cat guys' money next weekend on Hubbard? You know, I fished Hubbard about 3 weeks ago, and Jackson broke the junior lake record. We got a 56, couple 40s. I wouldn't mind going and fishing it. I thought I was fishing the ice bowl. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get a wild hair and go fish it with one of my teammates. That lake, we always do good on that lake. Dwayne Bullard says, howdy, guys. He's another record holder in the house. Welcome in, Dwayne. Texas Cowboy 921 says, what's up, brothers? New PB every other week. One.
Man, yeah, it took 4 years to break it. I think it was a 53. It took 4 years to break that PB. And then I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be hard to break. And then the very next time I went back out, broke it again. I was like, oh, that really is gonna be it. That is gonna take a long time. But I was messing with guys, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna wait that long to break this one. And it was like the following trip, bam, got that 72. I was like, God. But
So that's one your son caught. Do you think it was the same fish, possibly?
No, one was the one I caught was a female, and his was a male. Yeah, his was really dark too.
Got the partner. They were probably partners.
They might have been, yeah. They weren't too close to each other, but they were around there.
Donate Life Catfishing's out there making people mad in Facebook world. Flatheads. Dan sent me an underwater picture. Terry, I got it right. I got it uploaded. We're gonna play it. People are mad at these boys for catching these flatheads in the winter, saying that they're snagging them. I know Terry's not snagging them. He's using a certain presentation when he's able to put the bait right where it needs to be, and he's presenting it like they want it, and they do a reaction type injury bite. He freaking hooks them.
Yeah, contrary to what people believe.
A guy who does it at a world-class level all winter long. William Oliver. We're going to get him on the show soon. We're going to get him with Epic Catfish. We're going to talk about winter catfishing because Epic didn't know that you could catch them like that in the winter.
Yeah, it's not like they don't eat in the winter.
They're going to eat. Don't move quite as much, and it's all presentation. You have to trick them. They might not even be hungry, but most predatory animals, me and Jamie were talking about this, most predatory animals have an instinctual, something that is buried deep inside of them. It's an instinct to just attack something that they think is injured.
Yeah.
Whether they're hungry or not, just like a house cat attacking a feather on a string, they're not going to eat it. They may have just eaten a giant meal, but they will still attack that string, that feather on a string, when it's dangled just right, just at the right distance. When everything's just right, they just gotta freaking hit that thing. Catfish are similar, and pretty much any predator is the same. So
yeah, we catch.
Evening, y'all.
Welcome in, buddy.
Paying off, says Terry. That's what's cool about the show. Chris will help people out, and that's what draws me to this channel. And I like his colors.
I guess they could go either way, huh?
Tiny Mad Cat over there with those giant hands twisting those tiny gears, fixing those reels. Welcome in, buddy. Greenwell Fishing says, hey, fellas. Welcome in, Mike.
Juan Tienda, congrats, says Bill Killer B. Cody
Oh, yeah.
Davis says Juan
Appreciate it.
Tienda is the man. Juan is the man. He's the
I don't know.
Central Texas beast. Lisa DeVille got her son and won her a freaking Mad Cats rod off of my page today. I got 5 more of them to give away, guys. Got to figure out how to give them away and who to give them away to. So, Lisa, I actually have 2. I have
Froze on me.
some green signatures if he would rather have one of those. I also have 2 keyed up at Mad Cats. I can pick any rod you want other than the new ones. So, I know you probably messaged me your info. I told you to message me your address. Just if you want to, if he wants a different rod, let me know, and I'll get it sent out. And let me know the action as well. The pink rod's it's a seems like it's a medium. It's the Nano Blue Water Edition, pink. But if he wants a different one, let me know. I can get him whatever. Dan Weldon says, hello, family. That's our 32nd Mad Cats rod, and I got 5 more to give out because I like giving back. Tommy Anderson says, it's a hell of a night, though. Ryan Smith broke him a lake record today. Or not today, this weekend.
Congratulations, buddy.
Says, what's up, everyone? Technically, my son, actually, unofficially, my son has that lake record, but we didn't register it. It was actually the junior state record. First one he broke. He's broke it again since then. Juan keeps dropping out. Let's add Juan back in. Welcome back, Juan.
What happened? It froze up.
Herman says, good evening. Todd Barnes says, hello, fellas.
Welcome in, brother.
Juan is a PB machine. Congrats on a heck of a year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Greenwell Fishing says, Indiana. Brian Henry says, Chris, Jamie, Juan, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going. Adam Owens, high 5 times 3. Paul Wilson, I have a catfish trip. I've moved twice for the weather scheduled this Sunday. I don't blame you. It's going to be brutal. Really getting to the lake is the treacherous part. Fishing, it's not, fishing bad weather is not bad, but dragging a boat in ice, that's the tricky part, getting it there. Usually the main roads are fine, but once you get off the main road, and I got a big boat, which is even more dangerous. So I did not see the thank you video, Lisa. I was doing family stuff before the show, so I didn't look at any of my messages, but I'll check it out as soon as I get off. Trent Hall says, what's up, fellas? Trent was my fishing partner this past weekend, and we got Raylan Evans a PB. How about that one?
Man, that's a nice one there, brother.
Good fish.
Big lips. That's Raylan's 3rd PB, I think, on the War Machine. I had 3 trips, so he's a lucky little dude.
That's awesome to see, man.
Yeah, them kids are lucky, man. I don't know what it is.
God blesses you when you have kids on the boat. I tell everybody that. And take the kids off the boat. That's when you're gonna have your worst day of fishing.
Yeah, I know. But when I go during the week, it's because I don't have to go out and mess with the cows.
Yeah.
And so I'll drop the kids off at school. I'll come home. I'll get the boat and I head to the lake. Then I'll fish, 4, sometimes maybe 5 hours, stretch it out as much as I can, then come back, go pick up the kids from school.
My son's pissed when I do that, dude.
Every time he's getting in the truck or something, I'll have my hoodie on, got slime across it.
He
I'm like,
already.
guess what? He's like, you better not have broke your PB again. I said, I did. He's like, ah, man. He said, well, at least it was you, not somebody else. Because I know you got we're always joking around because, I mean, uh, breaking lake record, that lake is just, he's just annihilating it over and over. He's like, well, I'd rather you get it instead of somebody else, but I'm beat yours and I'm gonna keep catching bigger ones.
I gotta
It's like, oh,
going.
I, I'd love to see that. That
That's it.
one, it took him almost 10 minutes to get in. But the wind was getting up, and I never fish it, but after, figuring out how to do the drift socks to slow it down safely to where the waves aren't coming over the back.
Yeah.
And I mean, the gusts were up to 30, I think,
Yeah.
there were
That's
some
gnarly.
decent waves,
Yeah.
And then, him reeling that one in, I was like, oh man. And I just sit there, I was like, man, I just need to see it. And I keep looking at him. I was like, man, he's getting pulled all over the place.
You,
Yeah.
you know what I love to see, man? It's the excitement. I watched you and Ethan there and Chris and Jackson and everything, and I just love seeing the excitement on the face of the kids. And especially you up there holding the nets. I mean, both of you got net experience for sure now. How exciting y'all guys get, man! It's awesome. It's an awesome thing to see. It really is.
Yeah, I
It,
enjoy taking kids, even if I don't have like Jackson's off, like had to go to a birthday party. I searched around with my buddies to see who's got a kid that can come. So I would prefer to have I'd have a kid on the boat every trip if I could.
Mhm.
I get more joy. It makes me feel like a kid again and reminiscing about what they're going through, catching. It's easy to get them PBs, when they're
Mhm.
10. It's like fairly easy to get a 10-year-old a PB, and it's
Yeah,
life changing for them. And I told Raylan
it
he got
is.
53, and he's like, "Oh," I said, "Man, most grown-ups in Texas don't catch fish like this." So
No, no. I know Ethan's like, you know what? I skipped the 50s and 60s, went straight to 70s. I said, yeah, you did, buddy. I was
yeah.
like, I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one to break.
So
But
a lot of the kids that'll come on the boat, they'll start jaw jacking with my son because my son's he likes to be the net man for the kids, and
yeah.
they'll say something like, "Well, I caught all the big fish today." Well, my son gave you all the big fish, and he'll say something like, "Yeah, but what's your PB?"
Yeah. Hell, his is what, 83 or something?
Yeah, yeah. So he likes to remind these kids that
I couldn't imagine. That's a good fish.
we're gonna pop that one this year.
Chris, I've already got some questions that's starting to come in, man.
All right, I'm getting behind. So
Let's
yeah,
see.
Mike said they're getting 12 inches of snow. We got 12 inches coming here in Texas. So y'all are used to 12 inches, Mike. It's going to be like Armageddon here. People are going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Did you get that thumper installed on your boat yet? Says Wayne Forrest. Wayne, I have a thumper. I've got it to get. Well, I might not should say that. Never mind. Alex Tatum says, "My man, Juan Tienda."
Oh, Alex, he's one of the ones that took me under his wing. He's the one that runs the Big Country Catfish Trail. He's a good dude.
Cody Robbins says 270-pound fish, same lake, same week. Who does that? Juan Tienda, congratulations. I have a special place in my heart because me and my son did the same thing on our home lake. One, we caught them both the same day though. I caught a 70, which
God.
smashed the lake record, and then it wasn't an hour later he had a 72.5, and mine looked bigger. I'm like, I think mine might be bigger.
Yeah.
His he had me by 2.5 pounds, and he's like, "I got you." I'm like, I'm just thinking, thank God. I was glad that
Yeah.
mine wasn't bigger than his. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
He let me know about it for about a year straight, though.
Yeah.
those are the memories, man. That's why we do it, right? I mean,
That's it.
memories
That's what it's
are
about.
currency. The smiles and the memories. That's the currency.
That's the way it
Oh,
should
yeah.
be, man. That's the way it should be.
I don't do it for any other reason except to make memories and to put smile on people's faces.
Yeah. I know I get a lot of questions asked to me, and they're like, man, how come you don't get that one certified? Or how come you haven't got that one? You need to get another one. I was
Guys
like,
don't
well,
realize how stressful it is to do
yeah,
all
it's
that.
stressful for them. Yeah. Like
It's
if you
hard on
notice,
the fish. It's a pain in the ass dealing with the Texas Parks and Wildlife too.
yeah, like if it was readily available right there, I'd be more than
Yeah,
happy to
if they
do
had
it.
all that right there at the lake and you could go do it very
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
But like when he broke the second time Jackson broke this junior state record, we caught, it was the first fish of the day. And I'm like, it won't fit in our live well. You know, I'm like, we waited, we won a bunch of money. I'm like, you want to be done fishing? I asked him, you want to be done fishing and go deal with this fish for the next however long it takes to get somebody to come here and certify this thing? Or do you want to just send it back? You're going to win $500 from Mad Cats. And keep fishing. He's like, let's keep fishing. I'm like, that's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Ethan, when we were in the summer, I think August, we started really fishing at night and, you know, catching 30s and 40s. And, you know, it kept getting better and better from there. But every time he was like, yeah, we'll just send it back. We'll catch a bigger one later.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was like, yeah.
Makes
you
you proud
will.
when your kids.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's
know,
it.
like, yes, he
So
gets
it doesn't really, it doesn't really
some
bother
people
him.
wouldn't do that. They want that paper.
Yeah, yeah.
You
know, I think eventually we will. And I was talking to a guy, and he said that there's a Texas Parks and Wildlife place here locally. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go talk to them and see, because they said that they'll come out, like if it's for a kid. Like I understand that. Like I don't care for me at all.
Yeah.
But for my son, I would like to see him. You know, if all the conditions were right, as long as we weren't going to hurt the
I would be
fish.
more apt to go do it, but he doesn't care. He's broken 20 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
He's broken 20 records. He's a lucky.
No, yeah, I know. He's
every lake we go to, he smashes. Like,
yeah, so that's what Ethan. He's like, we need to go. We're gonna have to go hit up Lake Waco next. I was like, well, I mean, we can. Yeah, I said we can just keep on.
Got some big fish.
Yeah, I don't want to have to go over there at Vest Cook's place. You know, he'd be mad if I caught something there.
Oh man, see here, Vest likes to show up late and leave early. I'm like, Vest, you better get your ass on the water.
Yeah, as soon as Ethan caught that fish, we were already running out of room and packed everything up, and we're gonna go move over there. And I'm driving around, I see his boat there. I was like, is that Vess? I'm driving over there and everything.
He likes to
Next,
show up.
he turned around and started coming right at me. I was like, oh, that is.
Man,
he followed us over there.
River one time when me and Tommy Anderson were gar fishing this past summer, and they dropped that Trinity 2 feet while we were on a sandbar. We were fishing. We put it up on a sandbar and fish out the back, for gator gar. And they dropped that river 2 feet while we were there and left us freaking high center, dude.
Oh.
Thank God Vest rolled up, It's like, I'm like, dude, I don't know what we would do. He yanked us off that sandbar, or we'd have been stranded because that river was dropping fast. It was like, saved our ass, man. Thank you, Vest Cooks. Appreciate you, bro. I told Vest, anytime you were to ever get thrown in jail and you need somebody to come bail you out, I don't care what time of day it is, I will be there. I don't care if it's a 3-hour drive, I will show up. And I will answer my phone always. Jamie, you said there's some questions. What are the questions?
Well, the first one I got for Juan is what's your go-to bait, my friend? I know had someone asking and stuff. What's your go-to bait?
It just depends on some days. Some baits better than others, but it's always catching it there at the lake. And I tell you, the big gizzard shad are hard to find there. It's a pain in the butt. But there's a lot of 3, 2 to 4 pound carpet buffalo. Um, Man, those are some good baits. But you know, Chris, he's the one, and there's a Trent and Bess. I thought they were crazy throwing them big baits out there like that. I was like, there's no way something's gonna bite that. But man, this is the first year,
I told
throwing
you,
a
you commit this year, you will break,
yeah,
you smash every fish record you got.
yeah. I mean, you're talking 16, 20 inches, maybe sometimes.
These guys that
People
also
think they see that and they're like, "Are you
like,
crazy?"
keep believing that, and I'll be over here throwing big baits.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Makes all the difference.
yeah, yeah.
It does.
I know I had my buddy Jeff Sojourner on, and he's like, man, he said, this is the baits we're going to be using. This is the baits we're going to be using. And he was with me when I caught my second PB that broke. It was 58. And he's like, golly, man. He said, I never would have thought. And I was like, yeah. He's like, man, you're making me a believer about these things. And I guess every condition that it depends on what the time of year and everything it is to
Yeah,
use them big
definitely.
baits like
Right
that.
now it's
But
big bait season,
oh
and
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of guys like, what is there specific? I'm like, it's really more about the size. The big fish like a certain size, and if you present it like it's injured, uh, they're going to eat it.
Oh yeah.
They're going to eat it. If it's
Does
Yeah.
it ever? Do you ever catch yourself when you watch people look at your baits, man, and you're blown away by the size? I mean, the amount of people still to this day, you're like, dude, damn, them were some big baits.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. It's that
I will say
splash when it hits the water.
it's like
Yep.
I will say I have a ton of new guys on the boat, and I've heard, I can't tell you how many times I've heard right when I'm putting baits out, and they're like, "Well, one thing's for certain is I'm not using big enough baits." Because I'll put it on, and as I'm got it over my shoulder, I look back at them, and they're smiling. They're like, like, yep, that's a good bait when everybody's smiling when they look at it. Flies 15 feet.
Yeah, yeah, they don't fly far.
I was about to say, when you go to chunk that bait, that rod's bent slap over, man, it ain't going to go very far.
I don't know if you fished with Trent Hall. He's another one of my good fishing buddies, but that dude will put on a bait that's like damn near 2 feet long. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. He puts on a giant.
Looks like one of them big
He's
fake
like, I just
lures you
got to
hang on the
do it.
wall.
He'll take a whole, like a 25-pound buffalo, and he'll take the whole fillet off of that thing and he'll string the whole fillet on that thing. I'm like, damn, I thought I went big. Holy crap, Trent.
Yeah.
Looks like an alligator bait.
Yeah. Sometimes they inhale it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I love
I
them.
got another question. Do you guys catch a lot of bait or a lot of flatheads while dragging baits? I can tell you, I've caught several on Santee Cooper dragging baits. We do pretty well with them down there on Santee Cooper. Probably every 8 blue we're catching a flathead. So our numbers aren't too bad down there. Now I know you guys in Texas, a lot more blues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we catch a lot more blues. I would say it's rare for us to catch a flathead. What about you, Juan?
I only caught one flathead ever dragging, and it surprised me.
So I do know guys that use a lot of bluegill, and they like to drag like creek inlets. They
Yep.
do catch at the creek inlets with whole bluegill, and fairly frequently. But I fish the same area, but it's rare I use bluegill anymore because I don't have a bluegill source like I used to. And I think they do key in on bluegill around the stumps. So
Yeah.
you're
That's
fishing
what-
on a stump field on a creek inlet, your opportunity, because that's their home zone. They're in those stumps at the base of those stumps. And if you drag a bluegill by their face, you get one occasionally.
And that,
Might have
a
to
lot of
try
times
that.
when I'm on Santee Cooper, I'm using, a lot of bluegill, and I'm catching a lot of flatheads by doing it that way also. So it
I think
it works pretty well.
Specifically, if you're going to, there are blues up in there. Most definitely, there's blues mixed right in with those flatheads. But I think to catch the flatheads, it is a little bit different. My buddies that catch them, they fish right on the bottom. No, like I'm, most of the time I'm 30 inches off the bottom, unless there's a high pressure or something. But most days I'm about 30 inches off the bottom, and they're right on the bottom. I think it makes a difference. You're not, don't know if flathead's going to go up and get it when you're going by, quite like a blue cat.
And that's another good point, Chris, you bring up. A lot of people might not understand that, depending on how close you are to the bottom and how far you're off. I mean, that's going to up in your odds a lot if you're right down on the bottom. When I'm using that bluegill, I'm slapping that thing right to the bottom.
He uses Carolina rigs, dragging. I'm like, don't you lose a lot of? He's like, yeah, I lose a lot of crap, but I catch more flatheads doing it. So
that's it. So, yeah, guys, there's another good tip. I mean, hit that thing on the bottom, and definitely probably going to up in your game. Especially, I see, Joe, you said West Virginia. So, yeah, that's going to work real well up there in West Virginia. Let's see here.
Yeah, there's some stump fields that I found trying to learn this lake, and I don't know how many stumps I've hit, but luckily I've just been cruising it, and then boop, I had a couple that stopped the boat, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a big one. And they all warned me about them, but I was like, yeah, but you can't even see them. They're under the water to where you can't see it.
yeah, I like dragging them. Sometimes you get your drift sock hung on those things.
I don't think I'm going to drag where that place is at. Maybe just on the outside, but there's always fish in there almost year round.
Well, they like timber.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Even when fish are deep or whatever, there'll still be some fish in timber, shallow.
So one thing I do that maybe it's a tip for everyone: when you go out there and stump feels like that, don't even look at you see the fish in there, and you see a bunch of stumps and everything everywhere. Don't sit there and try to not throw it in there. Because it's gonna happen. So I park where I need to park at. I don't even look down, and I just start chunking rods out.
See, I'm a little more strategic when I do it. I like to find a little clearing where there's a circle of trees, and I can tie to one of them that's sticking out of the water. And then I like to be able to fan cast out on the edge of that whole thing, put baits right on the edge of that circle.
Yeah.
Because if you do get a big one, you can't hardly ever pull one out of a bunch of trees.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to get you off, man.
Yeah. And a lot of these stumps, they're all just straight short stumps. They're thick, but they're just straight up and down. They're not a lot of them have branches with them and everything.
Untie and go after them and get those fish.
Yeah. I think there's a couple like that, but I mean, it's where that area is at. It's hard, but like I said, every lake's different. So I've done exactly what you've said, because sometimes I'm just like, hell no, I ain't gonna lose all that gear. You're counting up the money every time you get hung up.
I don't mind losing the gear, but it's just when you do catch a really good one, it's damn near impossible to get out of it if you're just in a field of, I don't know. I have better luck if I can find a little clearing, and as soon as they hit, I rip them out into that open area. I feel like I just have a better shot at catching the big ones that way for me. But
that's it.
You got to go where the fish are at, right, Juan?
Yeah. You got to go where they're at.
Yeah, definitely don't be scared to go up in there. I mean, you got to go where they are for sure. Trinity Outdoors says caught several flatties dragging stumps on the Ohio River for sure. So that's definitely backing up what we're saying, man. So it can be done. It really can, guys.
So Juan, what kind of area were you in when you caught these record class fish?
You know, a lot of it is just targeting structure after the fronts, and then the wind changing.
What kind of
Uh,
structure?
just deep, the channel ledges.
Yeah,
Uh, Mainly the channel ledges, and then like uh like an open flat between the channel
yeah,
and
yeah.
other deep ledges and stuff. Um, but you know, the
How did
speed
you
was the
figure this?
key.
How did you figure this stuff out?
Well, you know, just from, like I said, watching the slime show, and when we talk about the weather patterns and how the temperature changes and it drops, the water temps are a real big key. So I'm starting to figure out. It depends
I
on the
know,
water
like
temp.
when you first started watching the show, you'd say, "I'm going to go try that this next week," and then you would make a post saying, "I tried it and it worked."
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that
yeah.
was cool. I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes
I
sir.
thought
Yeah.
that
So
was
I mean, it's like you said though. These last couple years have been. You know, I'm like, is it supposed to be this way? You're like, no, it's not supposed to be this way.
Yeah,
You
you
know
can't
when?
get used to what we're seeing now. It'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
different
but
next year.
yeah,
Maybe it'll be similar, but it'll be different. It seems like every year is completely different now. You can't go off of
yeah,
what you saw the year before. The fish won't be in the same area next year. So
yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
mean, even
that's one of the biggest mistakes is guys will get to where they're fishing the same area because they had luck a certain year. Well, the next year they're not there. They're not in that area.
yeah. No, they
A lot
move
of
so
other
much.
factors that moved them to a different part of the lake or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah, even the speed was factor. I mean, when I was catching them ones in the 50s, you'd have to go point .7, you know, easy. That was the speed that you had to go to get them to bite, and the water temp was like 58. And then when we caught them 72s, point .6 was whenever I was going, and it was 3 days, and I had to go down to point .4 because that front came in, and it was but you have them, you know, gusts up to 30 pushing you, and it was harder trying to figure out. But turning that troller motor backwards, you know, facing back towards the boat and helping it slow down. I was going like point .4, point .5, you know, just the waves. It's always like a range. It's either
Yeah,
point .4 to point .7, but it goes back and forth, and it's just because you're slowing down. And
So one, you're
uh,
finding out, man, the speed is a lot. Is helping you out a lot. I mean, you know, being able to
mhm.
adjust the speed with your trolling motor, you know, learning certain days how fast you might need to be going or turning it up. You know, that seems like it's playing a lot in your game right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, and it doesn't hurt that I've been looking at these fish, and you know, I used to scan at the beginning all the time, trying to find all these different areas and everything. And now, you know, I'm starting to have a little bit more confidence in myself to where I can see the water temp, and then the weather will tell me exactly where they're going to be now. And I'll go over there, and then I'll slow the boat down. I'll go, you know, 10 seconds or so, and I start scanning. I was like, oh yeah, they're all right here. I'm gonna go set up. I'm coming through here. You know, it's because I've been watching them for so long. That's the one benefit about trying to fish it, you know, every week. You can track the movements, you know.
yeah.
I'd never been able to do that so until now, and now, you know, they move so much, you know, around this lake. It
That's
you
every
know, the
lake.
yeah.
That's every lake. And they'll be in a different area from day to day. Could be in a different area from afternoon to morning.
Mhm.
It can drive you nuts when you think
Yeah.
where they should be and they're not there, and you have to start thinking outside the box. Okay, they're not where
Hmm.
they should be, so maybe they're where they shouldn't be.
That kind of leads me in this question that Tanner was asking, Chris. Newer here, I wanted to ask a question which has probably been asked many times. Do you sight fish using graphs, or do you just know areas you go in blind? So Tanner was wanting to know, guys, if y'all using your graphs pretty much, or you're going in blind on some of these areas, or is it pretty much like you were saying with the weather patterns, kind of what you're gonna do?
I mean, Juan, I'll let Juan answer that first.
Yeah, I know Chris's answer. Well, I'll give you an example. We went to Hubbard Creek. I hadn't been there, in a year, and me and Ethan went the week about 4 days before or something. But I went to go scan around and looking on there and trying to mark fish and find fish, and um, the water temp was really warm, and I was like, golly, this lake is. I hate anchoring in the wintertime, and that was one of the only times I went over there, and he ended up getting that real good one. But yeah, scanning through there, and the day before the tournament, we were pre-fishing. A guy that took with me, Steven. Um, I was showing him because he's trying to learn too and everything. And I said, look, we're gonna go scan over here. I was like, the fish are almost similarly in the same areas throughout the whole lake. When you find one on some ledges, because the temperature, the weather, it was on ledges. I was like, all right, so we're gonna go across the lake, and I'm gonna scan this other ledge, and I'm gonna show you.
Paying attention.
And then, boom, they're on that other ledge too, and then the wind has, a factor in it too, the way the wind's been blowing.
Yep.
And then we go back over here again. I was like, all right, now we're going to go to this other ledge and we're going to look. And Chris had showed me this when we went on Waco, driving by, scanning it, and boom, there were some fish piled up right on the ledge on a little drop off. And so what I did, I marked it, and then I said, all right, check it out. We're going to come up here with the trolling motor. We're going to park right above it, and then we're going to fan cast out on that ledge right there. And then it wasn't not even, I mean, it couldn't have been 4 or 5 minutes, and then bam, we got a fish.
Nice.
But I mean, I still use my graph and scanning, and we don't all have the luxury of fishing the same lake all the time, but travel fishing, like I said, love the challenges that it can bring.
Lakes, the graph, big part of my game. But I've fished a bunch of no graph tournaments and done well. It's not like you guys say, oh, you couldn't catch him if you didn't have a graph. That's a crock of shit, because I mean, I've been doing this forever. You pretty much know where the fish are at. Give me a map. I'll pick 3 spots. I can guarantee you 90% of 90 to 95% of the time the fish will be there. I use the graph to back that up. I show, you come off plane, they're there, they're either there or they're not. I don't have to scan for 15 minutes in that area. They're either there or not. I should know in about 30 seconds. If they're not there, I move. I run and gun until I find them. And the graph backs up where I think they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fish the graph. And one thing is you might find fish, but you might not find the right fish. I use the graph to determine more than anything, are the right fish here? Because just because you find a good group of fish doesn't mean the right fish are there. Could be just teeners. Could be 1,000 teeners there, and no big fish. Because you guys probably know, if you're catching a bunch of teeners, you're probably not in the right area. Because big fish don't run with them. They run in their own pack. So I've just learned to trust my graph, to trust my instincts on where I think they should be. And pretty much when you see what what you like, you're going to catch. I already know we're going to catch fish here. It's go time. I don't have to look for more than about 30 seconds. So,
yeah.
Cody Robbins says, shad kill coming. What do y'all think? A week after as in next weekend, the effect on the fishing here will be in Texas. Well, I just made a post today about it. So, I mean, do you have much experience with the shad kill, Juan?
No, not much experience, I guess.
Here's
haven't really
I would
been around the fishing.
what what the old schoolers told me. Go fish the shad kill. And fish will be full, but maybe you can throw a little bait because it's basically threadfin that dies.
Yeah.
Gizzard shad are smart. They go deep. They don't die. But the threadfin die. Our lakes are chuck full of
Oh yeah.
gazillions of them, 30 feet deep. There's going to be a shad kill because they're dumb. They don't know how to go deep. But I will say this. Most of the fish in the lake are fairly smart once they get up to size. They all go deep. Catfish are no different. When they're little, they're dumb. They go up and they'll get in that shallow water and they'll eat those threadfin. And some of those catfish will die because it's too cold. But they think, oh, I got to eat this threadfin. But big fish will stay deep. And I have proven it year after year. When everybody goes shallow it's not even shallow. It could be shallow. It could be mid-depth where the shad kill is. When they all go to that shad kill, I blow right past it and go out deep where there's 30, 25 feet thick of fish, so thick you don't even know what they are. And I will destroy the shad kill boys. I will destroy them. It's a guarantee. So you can catch fish around the shad kill, but you're going to have to sift through a bunch of dinks before you get one or two. There will be some good ones up there, but they get for one, they fill up pretty quick on those baby shad that are dying. And two, it's the majority of them are little fish, so they're picking you to pieces. You're catching a bunch of little ones. Go out deep, and it's going to be monster fest. Big fish after big fish, doubles, triples, quadruples, 8 fish on at the same time. It's epic. That's
Chaos.
Blow past that shad kill, head for the biomass, and prepare for an epic day of catfishing. So,
yeah, I think after this weekend, water temps are really going to drop.
Don't be throwing these little baits like this. They're that size.
That bait, you can't even get it in the screen.
Anglerfish go deep, and they become lethargic. Blue cats are not nearly as lethargic as most game fish, so they're eating game fish size baits.
So what temp is too cold when you downsize?
37 degrees, I would say.
Oh, and it's in the 30s.
37 is when they really start get slowing up. But it ain't 37 on the bottom of the lake, Juan. It's got to be it's got to stay cold for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be 8 degrees or something. Not 10 degrees 3 days in a row. So cold enough to freeze them out in the mid depths, but the deepest part of the lake is where the majority of the fish will pile up. They're not. They're not going to be affected.
Yeah, we're going to try it out. I think so. I don't know. Maybe Ethan can skip school that day.
Take some days off. Those are our 2,000-pound days.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's it. Got another good question, guys. Danny was asking, what's y'all's rods of choice? Of course, we all probably gonna know. Weights. What's the reasoning? I'm gonna throw this out there. The reasoning that you choose your weights, as far as like drifting weights, and your gear ratio on your reels, and the reason why you're using that gear ratio also.
We'll let Juan go first. He's our guest.
Well, I use the Mad Cat's rods, and I told Chris when he kept mentioning it, this is the first winter I had switched to all medium action. And I'll tell you what,
made a difference when dragging, Juan.
it's a huge difference. Like you wouldn't think so, but it has more flexibility and sensitive in the tip. So it's not jerking the planer board.
About that, and I'm like, you can argue all you want.
Oh yeah,
side by side for years.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. Oh yeah, and
for big,
obviously been catching the biggest one so far.
For big lately, fish, there's a major difference, especially when dragging and pulling boards.
Yep. And I noticed
swims your bait, not jerking. When you're jerky, you'll set the hook on structure and on cover. You'll lose more rigs. It's a more natural presentation. You're swimming your baits. Presentation's everything. For the bigger the fish, the more precise on your presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I'm
I've
with
noticed.
I'm about medium rods dragging a lake for big
Yeah,
fish.
I noticed on the furthest board now, and I got them really big baits on there. Yeah, the medium heavy would be kind of stiff, and it'd jerk it around a little bit, or things
Especially in
like that.
waves. Like if you got
Yeah.
waves, you won't even hardly get a bite on
Mm-mm.
a medium heavy rod. You won't even hardly get a bite. I'm telling you, that bait's getting jerked along the bottom. The fish are like, "Whoa, what? That's not right. Something's not right. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
even messing with that."
Yeah, I notice
Try
now
with
I
the
can tell
medium
the.
in big water, and it would probably be even better. But I go with the medium because it's a good balance. It's got plenty of backbone.
Mm-hmm.
But in a big water like what we have to fish down here, we got a lot of wind and waves. And on those days, the softer tip will smooth out your presentation, you'll catch way more big fish.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
stuff to
definitely.
line up too. So
I
And
found them
so
furthest planer boards. They bite differently, but they don't sense the rod. You'll see your planer board's going one way, all of a sudden you just see it turn, and it's kind of slowly coming back, and they're just barely there grabbing it, but they don't feel the rod pulling on it.
yeah.
yeah.
And so then I'll sit there and watch it, and it start going back more and more, and that's when you jump on there, and man, they're like, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm already cranking down on it because that's your time to get it. It
Oh
got the
yeah,
bait
yeah,
in its
yeah.
mouth."
Yeah, when that rod's bent, you got to get them, especially on like a high pressure day. You don't
Yeah,
have long to hook one up. You got to crank
no,
that hell out of that thing. That leads to our reels. So
yeah.
what gear ratio, what reel do you like? I already know because
We use the same ones.
the Zool program.
I mean, for drifting, man, that cranking power, that Dakota 600 HG. I mean, you can't beat it. I Man, you made me a believer, and you've been using them, and like I said, it's just been a whole night and day difference ever
I
since I
would agree.
started.
Guys don't understand why the high gear ratio and the and cranking powers also because
Yeah.
when you're pulling a planer board, you got a long line to the planer board. You got a
Hmm.
long line behind the planer board. That is at an angle. When you have a big fish take that down, you need to get on it quick. You need to crank. You got to straighten that line completely out before you can bury the hook. So you need
Yeah.
to suck that line straight, and then you got to have enough cranking power to sink that hook on a stretchy mono line in a 150 yards out,
Yeah.
and you got to be able to bury that hook with cranking power, and the speed of that makes a big difference to be able to suck all that line out quickly where it's straight to the boat and you're able to set the hook. And that's what a high gear ratio reel will do, but also one with a good amount of cranking power. That Dakota's got a long handle.
Hmm.
You crank, you are cranking down hard.
Yeah.
It makes a
And
difference. It makes a difference.
another thing that people maybe they have different opinions, but here in Texas, we're running 4 boards on each side of the boat, so they're out there pretty far. They're out there. We're able to run, 100 hooks, but I mean, I know you'll drag 10 or 12 rods just like I will too. But not when it's chaos. I'll be like, nah, buddy, we're just gonna do 8 today. They're going to mess with it.
And I know we get this question a lot, guys. How do y'all come up determine exactly when you fish in a lake on what size weight to go to? A lot of people gets this wrong, and it really means a lot when you're fishing certain lakes or weather conditions and stuff like that. You can go too light, you can go too heavy. So how do y'all to determine on which weight you're going to be using for that day?
I'll
Yeah, I
let
guess to
Mark
me.
answer first.
Oh, yeah, I use a lot of 2 ounce weights, the dragon weights. for if running some smaller baits, but the bigger baits that are way out there, then I'll run the 3 ounce. But I like the lighter weights because it's a less chance of it can bounce up and down, kind of float, have more buoyancy with the float and everything, and keep it from trying to get snagged as much on there. But you know, but if it's really a lot of waves, I learned this from Chris. You got to go up to 3 ounces, and to help keep that bait lower while it's moving up and down with all the rollers coming over. And
I would agree. So I would say you want just enough weight to pin your bait to the bottom. 2
mhm.
ounce on most days is going to work. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you're in big water and big waves and you're going with the wind, you're going to notice your boards will not pull right because you don't have enough back pressure to pull that board back. You need, and I know it's counterintuitive to think, well, a heavier weight's going to make the board pull worse. In big wind and waves, it'll make it pull better because there's back pressure. The board will be pointed the way that it should be to cut through the water. Whereas if it's wind, there's wind blowing, it's going to want to push that thing. It's not going to cut right. So big wind, big waves, 3 ounce. If you're super deep also, and you're like up at Texoma, if I'm 80 feet deep, there's a long amount of line that's out. That line has a lot of drag, which every time there's a wave, it's going to pull that bait up off the bottom. It's not a natural presentation. You will barely ever catch a fish. So in that situation, I also go to a 3 ounce. So that's the reasoning behind it, to pin your bait on the bottom for natural presentation.
That's it.
But the heavier you go, the more snags you will get. So don't go overboard. So I hear guys going 4 or 5 ounce in a lake. I'm like, why? I mean, that's crazy to me. You don't need that. 2 ounce in a big bait for the most part.
I can honestly say, even on Santee Cooper, I think the heaviest I will pull pin on the weather is a 3 ounce, and that's on a rough day. Majority, 95% of the time, I'm pulling a 2 ounce. And other than that, so, but I don't have to ask y'all what's your weight of choice. I mean, I already know that answer.
Yeah.
I want a 2 ounce Delgado's little signature from Carolina Lake Weights.
And that leads me to, guys, I know I've seen some questions. Those will be back in stock shortly. We're at the mercy of USPS, UPS. It's been all over the place, guys. So we're working very hard. We're waiting on that material, but we got everything else. But appreciate that. Let's see here. I saw another question.
And I got far behind. Can I get caught up real quick?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Brandon Abston, welcome in, buddy. Tommy Anderson says Trent Vest saved our ass, and they did. They saved our ass pulling us off that sandbar that day. And that go for me too. I'm not sure what Trent's saying, but that goes for you too, Trent. Good evening, friends. I am late, says the Master Outdoors. Taylor Perry says drum is slept on for blues. They love certain times, certain days they love a drum.
Yeah.
It really depends. If you're fishing the biomass, there's every fish in the lake is with biomass. So anything of the right size, guys are like, what do you use? I'll say,
it's the size.
Anything that you can get that's in that biomass with the right size. There's carp, there's buffalo, there's giant gizzard shad, there's every game fish. There's, I mean,
they're all stacked in there.
Fish, certain places you can use game fish. There's bass, black bass there. There's white bass there. There's, crappie there. You throw your net on the biomass and you'll have 6 or 7 different species of fish in one throw. They're all together. And I don't think it really matters if you're biomass fishing this time of year. It's more about size and presentation than it is about the actual type of bait, because every type of bait is there and they will eat all of it. They just want something that's easy, injured, the right size, you do all that. It's like dangling that freaking feather with a kitty on a string, buddy. They'll hammer that thing, even if they're not hungry. All right. Brad Sparks says, thank you, Jamie and Chris, for the amazing Carolina Lake Weights tackle that he got, that his son won. He won the Christmas $215 tackle package. Actually, it was money, but he put it towards tackle. So Jamie really hooked him up with way more than $215 worth.
Well, congratulations, buddy. It was well worth it. It went to a better person.
Trent says if you don't smile a little bit when the bait hits, doing it right. All right, I'm going to speed through here. I hate to skip through everybody, but can't tell you how many guys I've met during tournaments, and they think I'm lying when I tell them I run full slab crappie or sand bass. Yeah, most guys, here's the thing, when I see guys talk about big baits on social media, the social media fishermen, it's like a bait that's like that big. I'm like, that is not that's my smallest bait. That's my small bait. That's what catches eaters. That's not what catches my big fish. Go big or go home, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Lewis Parker, evening, everyone. All right, I gotta move. I'm sorry, I don't recognize a lot of these names, but I've got to get caught up. I got way behind, so let me just go towards the end. Sorry, guys.
I appreciate everybody tuning in.
Hey, y'all. Flathead Doty says, hold dead, but I'm still here. Half dead. Juan Tienda is a beast, says Jeremy Granado, the honey man.
Oh, yeah. He go out and traps a bunch of bees, and then he has some places where he puts and makes his own honey.
That's cool.
But yeah,
what's up, Slimers? Vest came in and saved the day when Juan dropped his net or dropped his scale in the water for the record. I guess it was his son's junior lake record. Daniel Carter says crappie and perch go to live bait. One thing about dragging is it doesn't require live bait. That's the beauty of dragging.
I think that makes them all look alive.
Your fish, it's coming through the water like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to figure out the proper speed and the proper depth that they're wanting it on your rig. So Trey Holmes says, is anyone fishing the front Saturday, or am I the only crazy one? Well, Trey, my son's got a basketball game, so I'm not fishing Saturday. I haven't even looked at the fishing deal, but I'm going to take some days off as soon as the front passes. So I figured if there's snow on the ground, driving all the way to East Texas is probably not the best decision. Dragging the war machine, it is not fun.
The beast.
And I thought, man, I probably shouldn't be doing
the battleship. The battleship for sure.
Yeah, it was not safe.
Welcome in, Kevin Waters. We drag 2 pound skip drag. Heck yeah. Yeah,
that's the right size. I like 2 pounders with the tail chopped off. I fillet down one side. I put a stinger hook. I put a 10-aught in the nose and a massive stinger hook in the tail. That's another thing. Guys, they see that stinger, they're like, damn, that's insane. And I got Justin Cox started on him. I noticed when he fished that Bama Blues that they said something about his stinger hook. I'm like, that makes me proud right there. That stinger hook's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, because the majority of the time they're going to eat the whole bait. They're going to try at least half of it. Yeah, yeah.
They can very easily eat the whole bait. That is not the nature of catfish.
Mm-hmm.
They like to kill whatever they're going to eat first. So they crush that thing right in the middle of it to try to break its spine. And a lot of baits you'll get, if you don't hook them, they're actually damn near chopped in half when you get a really big one on.
Yeah.
They just, and the eyeballs are blown out of the fish. I'm like, you know, you got a good one when the eyeballs are blown out and that giant bait is basically severed in half.
Yep.
Which is often. And you can still catch some small fish on giant baits, guys. I promise.
Oh,
yeah.
I've caught fish that were the same size as my damn bait.
Yeah. Yeah, dragging it the
wild
whole
how that
time.
works.
I'm like, man, how come I get no bites on this thing? I was like, well, that's why. I'm dragging a little old 1 pound, 2 pound
That's
channel
it.
cat or catfish.
Trent's like, put that one back on, hook him up, send him back out. I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh man, Daniel Carter says Friday night, if I can get off work, I think I'll sit out during the ice or snowstorm.
Don't blame you. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, Chris, I got you went over. There's a good question that you bypassed right there, and I think it's a good question. It really is. Do you find, like John was asking, 37-degree water temperature up on the Potomac River? Are you going to be downsizing your hooks and bait pinning on the water temp, or are you going to basically be staying where you at?
You know, 37 seems to be kind of the wintering number where they really slow down. They get super lethargic where you got to kind of get it in front of their face and leave it there. I don't, but my buddies Trent Hall and Vest Cook said they dragged even in 37 in the wintering hole and still hammer fish. I was always of the impression that you're supposed to anchor in the wintering hole. So that's what I've always done. It's pretty slow bite, but you will catch a lot of big fish doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, times are changing. The old school way has been proven wrong. I'm one of the guys that proves it wrong constantly. The way that I'm doing things, all these old timers tell me I need to be doing something different. And then when we discuss what we caught that day, I'm destroying them with a completely different approach of doing it. So guys are like, oh, it's all been done. It hasn't all been done. Catfishing has developed into a completely different game. I think there's new techniques. There's new ways of doing things. Guys with an open mind, you can figure things out. Maybe that when guys say, oh, that's tough, you got to really slow down. Hell, I found out some days where everybody tells you got to be going slow because they don't want to chase a bait. They actually will chase a bait. It's actually going a little faster.
Well, we got some many.
You're not doing that twitch, that feather on a string trick that a cat likes. You get it going the right speed, that cat is going to jump on it. And the same goes for trophy blue cats. So just because everybody tells you you got to go anchor on these fish that are lethargic, which is what we did forever. We went anchored when the pressure was high. But in my last 2 years, I have fished more high pressure days in the last 2 years than I have fished probably in the last 20. It's been that crazy of a last 2 years for me. And in those 2 years, I've had to figure out how to catch fish on those days. Typically, I would catch 2 good fish on a high pressure day. But now, I'd do just as good on a high pressure day. It's just everything's different.
That's it. And we talk about all the time on the show how things has developed, new techniques. You got all this new tackle now that's come in play. You got even the rods, has changed so much and been developed with the sensitivities, with the stiffness of the rods, even the drifting weights. And like I said, all this new tackle that's come into play. the game of catfishing has changed. It's blown up as big as bass fishing, if not bigger. There's so many people into it now, and we said not too long, Chris. It seems like every year it's changing. It really is, and I think that's to do with we're finding out more about the catfish, more research. We've learned so much, and what it's taken to actually catch these fish now, even more. So, I mean, Juan, do you feel the same on your way that you finding out about all this?
No, definitely, and everything has just been completely different lately. Like Chris saying, the bluebird skies and no wind. I fished a lot of them days lately, and shoot, you got to go up there point 0.7, point 0.8.
Yeah.
You're doing things that
Yeah,
you shouldn't be
you go
doing.
point two, because everybody said you got to anchor, and I'm like, well, I ain't anchoring, so I'll just go super slow, because they're like, you got to give them enough time where they'll decide to eat it. Well, they're not actually. You're not. The fish aren't hungry on that day. They're not actually trying to
Mhm.
eat. You have to invoke an injury like reaction bite, just something that's innate in them that wants to attack something that's injured. If you can invoke that, you can actually have an epic day. And
Mhm.
fish are not hungry. They will let go of the bait damn near as fast as they grab it. So you do have
Mhm.
to change everything you're doing. You got to hook every one of them up. You got about a second,
Yep.
maybe a second and a half before they spit it back out. And if you can be quick on the trigger, you can figure out what speed that they're wanting to get that reaction bite, and then you can crank down on them at the right moment, because it's also you got to get them at the right moment. Sometimes it's a tail whip type day where they grab it and they just try to crush it. You got about 2 or 3 crushes, crush. They let it go. If you
Yep.
get them on that second or third crush, you can catch them. Some days they don't even try to crush it. They just go up as it's coming by. They clamp down on it, and your rod just goes.
Yep.
But as soon as they feel pressure, they let it go.
There you go.
So you
You
can
know,
catch them that way as well, but you got to be quick on the trigger.
yeah.
That's
One thing I learned, I used to sit back in the chair, and arms up and sitting there watching the rods, and I'm like, man, I'm getting a lot of, they're taking it back and then they let it go. A lot of
yeah,
slow bites.
yeah. You better
And
get
this whole winter now, yeah, I'll be right there where the rods are at, and I'm just looking at all of them.
I
It,
fish with
it,
And they're
guys
like, man,
like,
you want
oh
to sit
man,
back? I'm like, no.
these dinks that's a dink. I'm like, that ain't no dink.
Yeah.
That's
And
not a
you know,
dink.
and
Dink's
I was
this.
sitting there and I could just feel a loud thump. And I look back and you just see the rod
Your
shake, and I'm
rod
like, man, what
does
is that?
that
Yeah.
that that's not a small fish. That's a big fish just
Mm-hmm.
biting it and tail whipping. So
Yep. And then you just got to find that right moment, like
not
you
to
said.
crank down when that thing pops back up, but you got about 3 of these. They just bite it, they tail whip, and they turn their head. And
Mm-hmm.
when that rod goes like that, their head is turned just long enough. You better have a high gear ratio Shimano Dakota.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you can hear the thump in the multi bars too. Like
oh,
it's loud. It's
yeah,
not quiet. And
Yeah,
that's how you know it's not a dink, is when you hear a thump, or then, well, if you don't see it, you look back and all your rods shake. You're like, hey, that was a good one.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
you're
it.
like, it's one of them is gonna go down, but
Where
yeah.
do y'all see this catfishing game headed in the future with all this new stuff, with the times changing? Where do y'all see it going, man? I see it exploding myself. I see it
the
getting.
popularity exploding. I see the fisheries taking a beating. Here's here's the problem. Okay, the problem is not us. We are not the problem, because I
Hmm.
know every one of my hardcore angling buddies turns the fish loose. I think you can go catch the same fish the next day. I've done it. Hell, I think we've caught the same fish the same day sometimes. Uh, so I don't think that catching them is the problem. The problem is and I hate to think this, but we're out here helping people, right? And we're trying, and
Yeah.
a big part of it is helping our like-minded anglers. Okay. So I love helping my like-minded anglers. What I don't like, and I know for a fact it's happening, is our unlike-minded anglers that are over here watching silently, learning all this stuff and going out and killing them. And there's a ton of those dudes. There's way more of those dudes than there are our little hardcore group of about 10,000 anglers.
Yep.
Out of us 10,000, there's millions that are not like-minded that will kill and keep these fish if they catch one. They're just not as good at it. But with social media, with guys being more open on how to do it, the big fish killers can actually be pretty lethal on a fishery. And if you get 4 or 5 guys that don't care about, the resource, 4 or 5 dudes can freaking destroy a fishery, just five guys. So I see, hopefully it will progress to a point where the paradigm will completely shift like it has for other species of fish, but currently it's going to decline. I say it. Our fisheries are going to decline.
And I've seen
it on every fishery that I fish. I've seen it on every fishery I fish.
I feel like we're getting the word out a lot more today about, catch, take a picture, catch and release, the CPR. But just like in the comment here, where he says, my dad's an old school and wants me to kill every fish. And nothing against the old school fishermen. I understand the way it was different than it is now. And I know that our waters take beatings from a lot of those guys still and stuff, man. And what would y'all guys tell these? I mean, what would it be something y'all be able to tell them?
I would say, there's plenty of fish if we all can kind of work together and respect each other. I respect that these guys want to keep fish, but you can't just keep pulling 50 pounders out of a fishery and expect there to be trophy catfish.
Yep.
The size will go down. So if they're wanting to keep fish, okay, which I don't mind them keeping eaters, and they want to keep fish, they should not mind turning loose our big fish. If they turn loose our big fish, they can catch all the eaters that they want. Here's the problem. If they keep catching all these big fish, there's going to be less eaters as well. I hear a lot of guys say, oh, I would rather just clean one fish than 20 little ones. And I mean, I don't like hearing that,
Yeah.
And like Kevin Walters is saying, and I saw this on Facebook also, is congratulations to the Kentucky Wild and Game, where they charged 25 people with felonies, illegal taking of catfish. That makes my day.
300,000 pounds.
That's wild.
A fish over 25 pounds, basically.
That's crazy. It really is, man. Just imagine what that is doing to these fisheries.
They don't recover quickly. It's not like a bass that grows to be full size in 5 years. It's not. And plus, guys don't quite understand when you remove the genetics. Okay. You need that big fish that's propagating their genetics, because not all, even if you were to allow them all to grow up to full size, not all of them will get to fulls. Not all of them will grow big. I mean, you can just see in the medium-sized fish that you're catching, you can see just in their different genetics, that one has the opportunity to be a giant. This one is not going to grow to be more than about 30 pounds. And I think when you turn those bigger ones loose, they say something like 1 in 10,000 grows to be a big fish. Well, if you got the big one mating with the big one, you're streamlining that. You're like supercharging that. You got to have those genetics with those genetics to continue to have the apex fish in the lake or the river or whatever. You remove them, little ones will breed. Yes, that's true. But now you got all the ones, the little ones that really can never, you don't know if they can get to be big, and they breed with other little ones. So you're watering down the genetics when you do that, because a giant catfish will not breed with a little dink. They only breed with other giant catfish. And that's how the genetic stays, strong.
That's what makes.
You got a pasture of cattle, Juan. You're a cattle rancher.
Yeah.
Are you going to kill your prize bull?
I know.
What freaking idiot kills the prize bull?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I
You
mean,
keep the best, and
keep the best. You keep
What?
and with the people also, with them trying to kill these big fish, how many of them are just putting all that meat in the freezer and it gets freezer burn, and then next year they throw it away?
majority.
If you're not going to eat it, then why even, we just get keepers and then we'll fillet them. But when we're going to eat them and stuff, because they're like, oh, you must have a freezer full of fish. I said, no. I said, I throw 99% of them back unless I'm going to eat
You want
some
some
small
fish,
ones.
you go catch them fresh and cook them.
Yeah.
Right? Go catch some eaters. We
I
do
get
that
people.
about 2 or 3 times a year. My wife will say, oh, I want some eaters. Well, okay. Well, I go eater fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You twisted my arm.
That's it.
They're really easy to catch. Small ones are easy to catch.
I get looked at all the time, man, at a boat landing. Everybody said, man, let me see your fish. I said, well, they're still swimming. They said, what you mean still swimming? I'm like, catch and release. If I'm not going to take a eater or 5-pounder to go eat it, I'm releasing my fish. Why are you doing this? And majority of them are, older people, but now I'm not saying all older people. A lot of older people are starting to catch on to, the catch and release. But you see it all the time, and it's like, man, I wish it would change quicker.
In our circles, you think everybody's CPR. Go over to Catfish America. You're going to realize there's a million of them that aren't. And they all love killing big fish and rubbing it in somebody's face who's really loves, they just, I don't know what it is about them that enjoys like trying to piss somebody off that's really into, protecting the resource. But yeah.
That's it. And that's why I love, Jackson, Ethan Nader, y'all guys, you're teaching them to the proper way. I mean, you're catching these fish, you're taking the pictures, you're showing them how to release these fish and take good care of them. And that's one of the best things, that makes the memories and being able to, where they can take their kids in the future and do the same thing and say, well, my father taught me this. And if we can,
right on the head right there, because before I got on social media, I was in a forum called the Texas Fishing Forum, and it was a bunch of hardcore anglers. But over time, they started leaving and going to Facebook, and I had noticed that all the big fish killers would band together and attack anyone who was big fish conservation. And Texas is bad. I mean, they'll straight rape these lakes. The big fish killers just cut. I mean, it does in a lake. It's a closed system. So certain times a year, you can really, like, if I decided I wanted to keep my fish, I could single-handedly put a hurting on most of these fisheries. So I think, I decided I'm leaving this, because why should I help these guys that are killing what I love? And I'm just going to focus on educating kids and trying to start kind of at the grassroots rather than trying to change these guys' minds who are mad that I'm trying to change their minds. And I've never had a kid ever come on my boat that argued about keeping a big fish. I've had a lot of old guys.
Yeah.
Just were straight bent out of shape that we weren't keeping.
Dude, I
really coming again. I mean,
I've had them on my boat.
But But
When
every
you,
kid understands. So
yeah,
I think we can educate the kids, the old guys. They go on, eventually quit fishing, and the paradigm slowly shifts. It's not going to happen just overnight. But enough kids
that's,
get on board, and you get a couple of the right kids in a position of power where they can really make change. I think that's where it changes. So I think we're close.
I think we're out. Actually, I think we are starting to turn the corner. I see a lot of difference in it than what I used to. I believe we've come a long ways. Let's just say that we've come a long ways. We still got a long ways to go. We really do. And I know we could spend the whole rest of the show on this subject. It's something that we could definitely talk about probably for 3 or 4 shows. But I believe myself, I've seen a difference, and I think we got a lot more, lot longer to go too. I really do.
Realist Fishing says, how many days after the front is prime time fishing? I will say this, even during, if you've got an extended front where even after, let's say 3 days, the front's still hitting, day 3, it's going to be epic. I always say, if you got north wind, day 3, it's freaking on. I would say the best chance of really doing something is the day that the pressure levels back out and the wind switches out of the south. If those two things coincide, the fishing is off the freaking charts because the fish have been kind of locked up and not eating real good for 2 or 3 days. They're voracious. The game fish that are in the fishery are very lethargic because the water's cold. Blue cats are not nearly as lethargic as the other game fish. They can still swim around and do their thing. Whereas a bass or a crappie, or gizzard shad, they are basically just almost like frozen. They can't even hardly move. And blue cats don't have to really hunt. It's easy prey. That's why they gain so much weight this month. They'll be sometimes 15-20% heavier this month than they will be the rest of the year. They just gorge. So
That's it. Let's see here. All
says their water's colder than ours. Got to hit them deep waters. We'll be fishing the deepest holes in the lake after this front.
off topic. With this winter storm coming, when will be the best fishing? Before, during, or after, Chris? For you.
After. It's freaking off the charts. After.
And one for you about the same way?
Yeah, I think it's because it's going to lower the water temp and what we've been talking about the whole show. It's going to force them to go to that
So they
little
will
bitty
bite
area of the lake.
front. They will feed heavy pre-front, but they won't be grouped up heavy pre-front. What the front does is piles them into really specific areas where they're easier to locate. And what happens is when that pressure drops back down to a normal level and the wind switches out of the south, which means a warm up, it's like the light turns off or turns on in them, and it's like time to go feed. I've been kind of sitting here for 3 days. Now I'm going to go hammer all this bait that's lethargic. And those are the days where you're catching 3-4 big fish at a time. We'll have 1,000-pound up to 2,000-pound days. Just 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, just fish after fish after fish all day long.
And I can say, it says, how about the river systems? I can say it's true for the river systems also. I find it, I fish a lot of rivers, and I find it just to be about along the same line that Chris and Juan was talking about. So that's one thing about it. I mean, the river systems follow, to me, the same path as a lake during that time. And, I know they had a lot of differences, but to me, it follows within that line.
Y'all go to the deep holes in the river?
I'm going to some deep holes in the river. Yep.
Trent Hall says he hadn't told everyone about some of the few of the things he's trying when he's solo. He's keeping them secret. I noticed Trent, he's trying a couple of my freaking secrets out. I hope they work for you, Trent.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me
I've told a few people about some of them. There's still a few things.
at a tournament once, somebody asked me, what'd you use for bait? I said, well, I had used hot dogs. And then my double hook rig, I used a foot-long hot dog.
Oh, man.
Bonnie Kirk Tienda says, we want to see the Ethanator.
You have to tell him to come over here. He's the real star.
I know normally we got to see Jackson every show. I haven't seen Jackson pop in a couple times.
He's probably in trouble. His mom's going to have to deal with it.
Oh, man.
All right.
See, I'm trying to get caught back up here myself.
My dad was old school. He used to want me to keep them all, but last time I kept one, kept a big flathead when I was 17. I told him after that one, it's the last one you're going to ever see. So enjoy it.
We kept all ours, but I think the biggest ones you ever caught were 5 pounds, so it didn't matter.
All right. Moving on down. I guess I got behind.
No, Chris. As soon as you get got back up, I got another good question coming up.
Ryan Smith says it's crazy how many guys are out there catfishing nowadays than 20 years ago. And Ryan, I know you fish my home lake, and I will tell you, not a single one of those dudes knows how to fish worth a lick. I'm like, damn, all you guys out here. I mean, because I've fished that lake for years. I know how tough it is, but I always caught good fish. And I run that Louisville fishing page. Not a single big fish comes on that page all winter other than like Ryan, a couple other guys. Maybe get lucky, catch one on chicken. I'm like, well, they're all using chicken. They can't catch bait.
There's the Ethanator. Welcome in, buddy.
Hey.
There's the monster catcher. Congrats on that PB, man.
Thank you.
Almost got pulled in the lake.
Gonna have to get the 70-pound club decal on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, we skipped some levels. So
what was it like catching a fish that weighs almost as much as you?
It's pretty cool, pretty heavy, and a pain.
Haze?
A pain. He kept complaining, my back hurts.
Oh yeah, that's a good kind of pain.
Oh yeah, I told him we had to get his big fish game up because he couldn't pick them up. Well, that fish was pretty hard to pick up.
Yeah, those big ones are hard for a kid to hold. Good, get you in good shape though, right?
Yeah.
You ready to go do it again?
Yep.
I bet.
We got a feeling there's an 80 to 100 pounder still in there waiting for us to catch it. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just got to be at the right place at the right time with the right bait and the right presentation.
Yeah, and get
Easy,
that
right?
little bit of luck right on your side. That's it. You know.
Oh man, I bet y'all get an 80. Maybe not this year, but I bet you get one soon.
Yeah, so I told him. I said, "Well, I mean, you're spoiled now because it's going to be tough to beat that PB because there's a lot of people."
You know that 72, it might be 80 after this front.
Oh yeah. You know,
they actually will eat that much when these fronts hit like this. After that front, they'll get that fish could gain 10 pounds.
Oh.
That's wild at how much they really do eat, how much they feed up on these cold fronts
You know,
like
if you've
this.
ever burped one and actually put your hand down in their belly, you'd be surprised at how much they can fit in there. A big fish.
Yeah, I've got to get a bigger burp tube
Probably
because I have
20 pounds of food in there. That's how big
that
they
little. I think it was 3/8 that PEX pipe tubing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna get a bigger one for these.
Yeah, yeah. You need 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
You know, I tell everybody it's always good to have that on your boat. It really
Yeah, let's
is.
talk about that right now while it's big fish season, because it's time to burp fish. And there are guys that aren't real experienced that are on here watching. So, one, when the fish go deep and you're pulling them out of deep water and they're not able to burp themselves because they're a little more lethargic, what do you got to do to make sure that fish goes back down and is returned to the water safely?
You know, burping it. You know, showing Ethan too. Letting that air out, you'll see it because that stomach is so tight, and you know you got to put that tube down there. You hear it burp, and sometimes you got to move it around, squeeze. There's a little bit of some old juices that get splattered all over everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it end up and you're lowering that belly down, and then yeah, because if not, you try to release it and you're in that water, it goes belly up. Or it's trying to swim down but can't swim down, and it's laying on its side and it won't go down.
And I tell everybody right now, this fishing real deep holes. Take your time bringing those fish in. Allow them fish to burp as they come up. You know, don't try to horse them, and you know you'll be able to see it. You know, and then that's another good way to help relieve the stress off that fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see all them bubbles coming up from it burping.
Yeah. Catfish are really resilient. You know, they can stay out of water a long time. I think keeping them from scraping them a whole lot is beneficial. And doing that, sometimes you need to just let them sit for a little bit before you try to handle them, because especially if you got kids on the boat or people that aren't real used to handling them, you hand them a frisky fish and 5 seconds later the fish is laying on the ground because they dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say this time of year, if you can let them sit, a lot of times they will burp themselves just sitting on the floor.
Yep.
And they will calm down rather than just immediately trying to handle them, taking pictures and getting weights and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard on them if they're really fired up and you're trying to do all that. So they are resilient, but you do need to take care of them, burping them, making sure you don't drop them, and getting them back in the water and they go back down to the bottom.
Yeah. You know, a lot of it not grabbing it, you know, because way back when I had caught a big fish for a long time ago, first one, you know, grabbing it by the mouths like this and letting it hang down.
Yeah.
You
know,
stretching that jaw out. You know.
Yeah, I'll always hand them to my guests. They all want to immediately start. I want to weigh it. I'm like, I'm weighing it. First of all, I'm going to be the one weighing it. Mm-hmm. 2, I'm going to position you and I'm going to hand you the fish. Just let the fish go and let it sit in the bottom of the boat, and we'll deal with it after we get the landing net put back up, the bait hooked back on. Let me send it back out. All that little amount of time lasts about 2 minutes, and in that time, the fish calms down. They get more docile where you can handle them, and then they're not flopping around trying to bite your hand off. So I think it's important to do all that. I've caught a million big fish, and it's kind of just how we do it now. There's a way to do. There's a way to do it. If you get excited and you start wanting to handle that thing immediately, the fish doesn't want to be handled. He'd like to calm down for a minute. As soon as you yank him out of the water, they're pissed. They'll bite the crap out of you. They want to flop. So that's what I tell guys. Just let them sit there for a minute. Let's get everything taken care of, get the boat cleared, and then we'll deal with the fish.
That's it.
Yeah.
Daniel was asking. He said he hasn't really done a lot of that. Do you do it with all ones you pull out of deep water? So
You know, I would say after the polar front, you probably need to do it with every damn one of them. And you don't have to have a burping tube. You can use a lot of guys use your knee.
Yep.
If you're not catching a lot of fish, a lot of big fish, you know, everybody doesn't catch a bunch of big fish. So if you're not catching a bunch of them, you got time to spin with the fish to burp the thing. You don't have to rush it. You know, make sure it's done gently and properly rather than jamming a tube down their throat. A lot of guys would rather do it on their knee. You can do that. You basically massage it from the back towards the mouth. And a lot of them will burp that way. If you just leave it in the floor of the boat while you're getting your rod situated, your landing net situated, your bait put back on, a lot of times you'll just hear them just rip a giant burp. Yeah. And, you're like, okay, they did it themselves. But, if you like, in my case, after this front, we're going to be doubling, tripling, quadrupling up on big fish. You don't have time to spend with them. We burp them. We try to get them back in the water as quick as possible. Burping tube is a necessity. You can't spend all day burping fish on your knee.
Yep.
They won't all burp. I mean, so that's how we do it. And then put them on the gripper. When you release them, put them on the gripper. You lay them down in the water. If they lay up on their side, they need to be pulled back out of the water and reburped until they will lay normal and go back down. So spend a little time with them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Spivey, he's out there slanging some bait nets. Anybody been using Spivey's nets? The mega spreader cast net?
I have it.
No, I
He's
haven't
got a new
either.
cast net. He's one of our local guys. He's got a cast net company, mega spreader. It's got a piece of red tape around the bottom. So if you've seen guys, I've been seeing a lot of guys on Facebook using them. I actually bought one and somebody stole the son of a bitch out of the back of my truck before I could even use it.
Definitely get with us. We would definitely love to talk to him for sure.
Yeah. He's a good guy, and he's a fishing freak like all of us. So might can partner up with the show, help him sell some nets. All right.
Because Ethan's about to head out, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Buddy, it's always good seeing you, man. Congratulations on all the big fish.
You ready to play in the snow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll see you, Ethan. Have a good one, buddy. Taught a buddy of his how to do CPR on a big cat and thanked me for telling him how to CPR. You really you need to know, anybody who's out on the water this time of year, trophy catfishing, needs to know how to burp a fish. It's paramount.
Yep.
I think that's probably one of the things that hurt Lake Tawakoni is so many new guys. It was a very easy lake to catch a few big fish. And so many new guys hit that thing and didn't burp their fish in the winter. And I'm sure that had a negative impact on that fishery. So everybody says, thanks, Ryan Smith's got a freezer full. Doesn't have a single bag of fish in the freezer. Neither do we. Wayne Forrest says he thinks jug lines is a big problem on lakes. I would agree, especially up in Texoma. Damn, those Oklahoma boys, they are relentless with the jugs. Man, it's almost time to go fish the inlet, and there will be literally 2,000 jugs at that inlet.
Man.
Yeah, I just picked one up
Crazy,
when we
dude.
were out there.
I just
But it-
drag through their whole. I just drag through the line because I'm not going to not fish, and I'll snag one. Which when I do, I'm gonna take it off, and damn near never, not a damn one of them has the right date. I mean, they're all illegal. Not one of them was. I think one trip I caught about 10 of those things, and not a single one was legal.
Wow.
They all had old dates on them from 3 weeks before. Jeremy Oliver says paid lakes have to go. I'd agree. I don't see how they're possibly still illegal. These states that allow them are terribly run states.
Yep.
Spivey says he still loves eater fishing. Eater fishing's fun. My son would probably prefer to catch eaters because he likes to boat flip fish. Something fun to him about boat flipping. So we still do some eater fishing in the summer. It's fun.
Speaking of that, Chris, what's y'all's advice in the summertime for people to be able to catch some big blues? How hard is it for y'all, or for I know in the summertime it gets real hard for everybody a lot of times to
Texas
catch
is
big
a little
blues.
different than most places. When our water temps get super hot, our fish pretty much get lethargic, damn near like they're in a wintering hole. They have a very, very, very short bite window. And when I say very short, it might only be 15 to 30 minutes out of a day. So the day, when they come off the nests, it's pretty much a night game. And it's a long wait. You can go out there and fish. I'll still go anchor fish up in the timber, and you can catch good fish. But when guys are like saying there's no trophy catfish season, I'm like, the difference between catching a couple of good ones every other trip to doing what we're doing now, catching 20 good ones every trip, and on a good day we may catch 40 good ones. Tell me there's not a season. Yes, there's a season. So summertime catting here in Texas for big fish is pretty much a night game. And it's a waiting. It's not even an every trip game. You may get a 20 as your big fish, whereas now 20 is a dink, not a dink. I'm not going to say it's a dink. 20 is a small fish in the winter.
I learned going out there when we started to do it. Night fishing is too dang hot in the day. So going out there, like you said, you mark good fish. There's a lot of good fish there, but you anchor up and then you just wait to see if anyone want to eat.
Yeah, you got to hopefully.
And it's just that short window.
They go eat.
You're going to get one good fish, and that's it.
Like, oh, they're more active in hot water. I'm like, no, not here. They're not. Their metabolism's faster, but they don't want to burn up. Our fish get emaciated in the summer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got 90-degree temps. A lot of places don't have them 90-degree temps, especially going to shallows. It's hot.
Yeah.
I've gotten where I just go gator gar fishing up until about August when it's even that's no fun because it's so hot. It's like,
yeah. If you're going to fight the mosquitoes, going to take you out. Things are massive. You got to have wind if you're going to night fish.
Without the wind, the bugs just are relentless, dude.
Oh man,
it's crazy bad. I don't like it. I'm getting too old to stay up that late either. Seriously, man. Got too much. My son's got summer track and football and all that. And it's like, man, I'm stay up all night. It's just not good for my family stuff. So Joseph Bustle says, get high school catfish team started. And I made a post about that too long ago because every high school has a bass fishing team can we start to get some catfishing teams so that we can get some of these kids, going
Yeah.
at a young age? But I've yet to see it. Jeremy DeFore says, howdy, folks, with the rock and roll. Welcome in. Welcome in, Creole. Jesus Valenzuela says,
I'll be right back.
topic, the winter storm coming in. When will the best fishing? 1 day before, 2 days, 2, 3, or after? Did we already answer that?
Yeah, you're back right good bit there.
Oh gosh. All right. Caught up. Brent Hall's throwing up on his emoji.
Yeah, y'all were talking about the fish with the never mind. Oh man. But yeah, those mosquitoes is pretty tough out there at night in the summertime. That's for darn sure.
Randall Smythe says it's been a great net for him, even an iffy throw at pancakes right out. Daniel Carter says last fish he let go took a while to get straight, probably a couple of minutes before it pulled down, swam away. They'll do that, when you pull them out of deep water, it kind of messes them, freaks them out a little bit, stuns them if you pull them up quick. That's another thing. If they stay down, a lot of times they shoot straight to the surface and they blow themselves up. But if they stay down, when you get it close to the boat, don't rush getting it in. If you can bring it up slowly, a lot of times they'll just equalize and burp themselves.
That's it. It's just like humans going down to deep water. You got to go into a tank, allow your body to adjust and stuff. It's the same way for catfishing.
Y'all want to see this wintering hole, this flatheads that one of my buddies sent me?
Yeah, let's see that.
Here's a wintering hole where everybody accused this guy of snagging. It's a deeper hole in the river. And he said, man, we go in this deeper hole in the river and just wear them out for about 2 to 3 hours, catch 500-600 pounds of flatheads. And all these guys were mad at him, saying they're snagging fish, saying you can't catch flatheads in the winter. But and I defended them because they're my friends. I'm like, well, I know you can catch flatheads in the winter because I got a guide buddy that does it at an extremely elite level all winter long. Even when there's ice on the water, he's catching flatheads. So here's the video he sent me of this wintering hole. They dropped a camera down there where they've been fishing. So check this out. This is exciting stuff. These are flatheads. Let me start it from the beginning. Those are all flatheads. Every little depression had a bunch of land. 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just all on top of each other like cordwood.
Yeah, those aren't rocks.
Yeah, they're definitely stacked.
But they go back to the same hole every year. I said, Nick, can I come visit? Pretty bad.
That's a wild video, ain't it? And that just goes to show you, man, how stacked the flatheads can be.
Yeah. Put something in front of their face and twitch it just right, and they'll hit it.
That's awesome to watch. It really is.
Guys, anything you want to promote, Jamie?
Man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. we're working behind the scenes on some stuff, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports us here at Carolina Lake Weights for the ongoing support. Appreciate you guys. Without y'all, we couldn't do what we love to do, man. And congratulations to y'all on every time I open up Facebook, I'm seeing all these new PBs, man. It's awesome to watch. It really is. I was telling Chris, man, it makes me jealous. I wish I could be out there a lot more, but we love doing what we love to do, and it's well worth it, man. Watching everything, all the hard work go into what we do, and seeing it pay off for a lot of people. So thank you all so much for supporting us.
I want to say thanks to everybody that's been subscribing to my Facebook page. I've been sending out these decals. This is the new one on the bottom. I fish for catfish. Everything else is bait. If you want one, go hit the subscribe button. It's $1 a month. I've already sent out $6 worth of decals. It's only the second month. I'm losing money, but I think it's cool, so I'm going to keep doing it. We'll also be doing more more Mad Cats rod giveaways. We gave away rod number 32 today to a kid with another kid rod. He's little youth angler that catches fish. His mom takes him, so I thought it'd be cool to give him a rod. And I got 5 more rods I'm going to be giving out. So we'll be giving out rod number 37 soon. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I love seeing them kids.
Head over to my page and get in on these competitions. Most of them are for kids. So if you got a kid, you got a neighbor kid that needs a fishing rod that likes to catfish, doesn't have a catfish specific rod, get in on it. We'll be giving 5 more of them away. I think I got 3 signature 3.0s, and then I got 2 at Mad Cats. I can pick whatever rods I want. So anything else? Juan, you got anything?
No, I just, remind everybody, y'all go get some of them new 2.0 Action Jackson hooks, and, the Ethernators up there, the JT Catfish kids up there, Big Kitty Buzz rigs, the Big Kitty teaser rigs, and them skirts, often imitated, never duplicated. Them things.
Get those freaking dragon weights back in stock, Jamie Dunn.
Yeah, we're waiting on those we're waiting on those cool new colors to get here, and as soon as they do, we're gonna get those back in stock. But we got a lot of them in stock right now, guys. I know everybody loves that.
Oh, got them in stock, just not every color right now.
That's it. We got all kinds of drifting weights in stock right now. Just the fluorescent green ones are out right now because everybody loves them.
Them azul green, baby.
That's it. That's it.
Got all them and them the Micah Burkhart solid black ones.
Yep.
I can use them both.
So we got 17 different colors. So there's a lot to choose from, and there's a lot of cool things over there for sure.
All right, guys. From the Slime Show Catfishing. Tight lines. God bless. Azul out.
Later, everybody.
Appreciate everybody coming in.